The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
And good evening, this is Bob W6CJX, and I'll be your net control operator for tonight's Papa Great Outdoor Net. This net meets every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Pacific. This is a directed net, so please go through net control at all times, and your cooperation is always greatly appreciated. Before we get started, let's pause for any emergency or priority traffic. Hearing nothing but crickets, we'll continue with the net. Stations with emergency or priority traffic can come into the net at any time with a double break, and net control will respond appropriately. The PAPA system is an open membership-supported system in the Southern California area with coverage from the Mexican border to Paso Robles and from the Channel Islands to Las Vegas, Nevada. If you're a visitor to the PAPA system tonight, I invite you to go to papasys.com. That's PAPASYS.com and register as a guest. With your guest registration, you'll have 45 days of free access to the PAPA system. At the end of your one-time 45-day guest access period, we'd love for you to become a subscribed member, continue to use the PAPA system on a daily basis, and be part of the PAPA system family. However, all amateurs are welcome to participate in the daily, weekly, and monthly PAPA system nets regardless of their membership status. Again, this is the PAPA system, Great Outdoor Net. Well, good evening once again, and do you guys all remember that from the 80s, the American Express card? Don't leave home without it. Well, tonight, we're going to talk about things you don't want to leave home without, mainly EDCs, everyday carry, and things like that. So let's get started, and here come the announcements.
Here are the PAPA System weekly announcements for the week of October 6th. The PAPA Inland Empire Breakfast. PAPA will be meeting in person on Saturday, October 11th, at 9 a.m. at the Mill Creek Cattle Company. Everyone is welcome. We will be offering ham license testing at 8 a.m. for technician, general, and amateur extra class licenses. Please RSVP for breakfast attendance and for ham license testing at 8 a.m. The Papa Valley Breakfast. PAPA will also be meeting in person on Saturday, October 11th, at 7:30 a.m. at Lulu's Restaurant in Van Nuys. Everyone is welcome, so come on out for a chance to meet and visit with your ham radio friends that you talk with on the air. We will be offering ham license testing at 7 a.m. for technician, general, and amateur extra class licenses. Please RSVP for breakfast attendance and for ham license testing at 7 a.m. PAPA Quick Start Program. In conjunction with all of our test sessions, we have a Quick Start program for newly licensed technicians. Our Quick Start program is designed to get you on the air as soon as your new FCC license arrives and help you understand how to use a radio on the PAPA system to communicate with fellow hams. The PAPA system will provide you with a pre-programmed UHF handheld radio at no cost to you and assist you with technical and operational issues as you learn more about ham radio. More details are available at the test sessions and on the PAPA website. Special presentation: 50-plus years of amateur radio equipment. PAPA's own Rick Norton, WM6M, will be presenting on 50-plus years of amateur radio equipment. Join us as we take a walk down amateur radio history lane. You may just get to see an old friend from the past. The USS Midway Museum radio team, NI6IW, will be on the air on Saturday, October 11th, from 0900 to 1600 Pacific Time. They will be celebrating the United States Navy's birthday. Check the PAPA website for all of the modes and frequencies. All this information and a whole lot more can be found on the PAPA website at papasys.com.
Okay, came out a little garbled. Anyway, this is Bob W6CJX for the PAPA system, Great Outdoor Net. Yeah, just before the net started, I had a little shout out from Lou there, and literally had a nature call, but it didn't take me to the great outdoors, I'll tell you that. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Got my voice back a little bit, had a little trouble with that, and just enjoying the time. It's going to say the weekend, but it's not. Well, it's still the weekend, I guess. It's the end. It's actually getting closer to Monday, but we can spend some time here, and we'll talk about some fun stuff. Okay, I've had this topic in the back of my pocket for a long time, and we kind of did some of it, but not really recently. So wanted to kind of dive into some EDCs. You're going to keep it as simple and easy as you want. The most common EDCs are like knives, flashlights, your wallet, keys to your car, which I guess you wouldn't get too far, possibly your phone and sunglasses. I left both those things at home a few times. But, is there some special kind of outdoor gadget gear thing that you like? Who knows what it could be. Could be even a clothing item for outdoors. Doesn't have to be, mechanical or electronic or anything like that. So that is the topic for tonight. And anything you want to share from your weekend, I guess, of great outdoors, or since we were last on the net, you can also do that. All right, let's see if our friend Steve, KI6LOV, he's our trail consultant extraordinaire, and I'll see if Steve has any report from the trail tonight for us. So stand by, and let's see if Steve's around. KI6LOV, the microphone is yours.
Well, good evening, Bob, and everyone out here on the Great Outdoor Net. This is Steve, KI6LOV, fresh off the trail this weekend. I went out to my cabin. I had a lot of chores to do and a lot of nature to enjoy. So along my hike out on Saturday, I met up with two different pairs of hikers on their way back down who told me that they had seen a mother bear and a cub on the Mount Wilson Trail. And I said, okay, thank you for that. And I kept hiking along. And I hike on that trail for a little more than a quarter mile from the upper and lower Winter Creek Junction to get to my cabin. So this is a little heads up for anybody out there hiking in bear country. So I'm always alert and paying attention, but this time I knew that there was the likelihood of meeting up with this bear and the two bears. So what I did was, aside from keeping an extra lookout along the way, I started banging my, every time I came to a boulder, I banged my aluminum hiking sticks on it so that I am being heard as I walk along the trail. And then every, couple of minutes, I would say in a nice calm voice, hey bear, just in case there's the mama right around the corner in front of me. And, of course, I did not see the bears, and I suppose that's a good thing, but just a little heads up there. Make a little noise, and so you don't want to sneak up on them and get them excited. So with that, Bob, I'll give it back to you, and we'll talk a little bit about EDC gear. This is KI6LOV.
Boy, with all this stuff going on by making noise on the trail, we're going to be an awful lot of noisy hikers out there, but for a good reason, and that's very true. And stomping our feet for rattlesnakes and snap our poles. I loved hiking with hiking poles. I guess we should dedicate a net on hiking poles one night too. I mean, some people don't want to do anything to do with them, which means they're still very good on their feet. But as you get older and as you get more into the hiking, you might need a pair. W6CJX for the Papa System, Great Outdoor Net. Thank you so much, Steve, for that information. As always, we always love it. And let's throw it out to the net and see if there's any other announcements just before. I want to make sure I didn't, but he came up with something that we don't catch. So let's stand by for an announcement, and then we'll get started. And forever hold your peace. All right, there we go. Let's see who's out there tonight. W6CJX is steering this ship oddity tonight. We'll see, I guess. Got a lot of weird lights going on tonight. Looking a little Halloweenish. Is that a word? I have to look it up. but I got my spider. But this is the outdoor net, so you got to have outdoor things like tarantulas on your lamp and scorpions on your desk. It just kind of goes with the territory. All right, let's see who's out there. Please contact Net Control.
Kilo.
W8 LOU with E8 Lima Oscar uniform. Blue here, Current Hills, California.
Great. Kilo India 6, Lima Oscar Victor.
Kilo Oscar 6, Juliet Charlie Alpha, Jeff.
Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Charlie Yankee, Chuck.
Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Hotel Kilo, Stephen.
W6ALV on the side, disc monitoring.
Kilo Foxtrot 4, Papa Quebec Hotel.
Okay, let's put a little break on that. And I think I got everybody. But let me check, and I'll go down the list real quick. We had Adrian, we had Lou, we had Steve, LOV, we got Jim, FVN, we got Jeff, a JCA, we got Chuck, KCY, Stephen, KHK, we got Andrew, W6ALB, Jeff, AB6MB, and KF4PQH Ron. Did I miss anyone? Or anyone else want to get on that list?
November
Kilo 6, Charlie Oscar Zulu. KM6AVH.
Okay, we added a few more. That's a good start. My gosh, we're down to number 13 already. Lucky number 13. Look at that. All right, we'll start at the top, and let's say hello to Adrian, KK6, H&G, and I know you got more gadgets than gadgets, and so do I. But what's your favorite? I cannot leave home without it. Like I said, it's not your cell phone, it's not your wallet. Yeah, you don't want to leave home with those. But what kind of outdoor gadget or gear that you take with you every day? Go ahead, Adrian. Take it away.
Good evening, Bob, and everybody on the net. This is KK6HNG. Well, believe it or not, the wallet is obviously one of them. But not even that. It's actually the phone, because the phone can act as a phone even via satellite if it has to. It can act as a credit card if it has to. It can act as a navigation tool a lot of time in the wilderness. So that's probably the one I would not leave without. Even I wouldn't have cell signal. Go and figure. But yeah, no, other than that, it depends on the situation. Like, for example, yesterday I did a nice hike around Palos Verdes, probably about 17 miles combined hike. And yeah, that EDC was very simple. Aside from the phone, it was a very light backpack, 1 liter of water. No, it was not enough. I stopped at once and bought another one, and 2 snacks. And that was the EDC. But in other places, well, it could be more, like power banks, or, because, well, what is it good a navigation tool if you have no power? So, flashlights, oh yeah, especially the small and powerful rechargeable ones. Well, depending where I go. If I go in the Sierras, a pair of hiking sticks would do as well. Helps a lot of crossing rivers and stuff. So, all in all, it depends. Right now, I just got today from a Chinese site a nice round tool that has 60 watt PD power cable and a few adapters. Not that I didn't have a bunch of those, but this tool was very nice and compact, so that's why I ordered it. Looks pretty good. Anyway, back to Net Control.
Well, thank you, Adrian. Yeah, I know I'm going to probably die with 1,000 million connectors all surrounding me and have never probably used half of them. But sometimes you look at them and you just go, well, yeah, I might need one of those. And that's an interesting thing interesting take too, to bring some different connectors and things with you, especially if you have a radio that may take different kinds of antennas, maybe a BNC and maybe a regular screw-in type. So depending on your equipment for that might be some things you never leave home without it. That could even work into POTAs and SOTAs. what do you put in your bag? What kind of tool bag? What's that one tool, that one thing you don't want to leave without? All right, well, thank you so much, Adrian. W6CJX for the Papa System, Great Outdoor Net. And we're talking EDC's everyday carry. Just what's that one item that you can't leave home without? Let's head over to Lou, W8LOU, see if we can squeeze him in a little bit. He's out there and having a good time, I suppose, hopefully. Anyway, Lou, go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Bob. Thanks for having me. It's always good to be here. The one thing was given to me by my son as a gift is my Swiss Army knife. I carry that thing all the time religiously. That thing has so many tools on it. He bought me the really nice one, the upper model. I can't think of the model, but a Father's Day gift several years ago. And I have to tell you, that thing has scissors on it. It's got a file. It's got several knives. It's got a bottle opener. Everything you can imagine. It's all there, compact in one little unit. And they're nice. They're nice utility tools. But I do carry quite a few things on me. I carry an illumination device outside of my firearm pistol-mounted Surefire light, so that I have illumination. I carry a small Phoenix flashlight. Those are pretty darn good. Norm Goodkin turned me onto those lights, and they're not too expensive. It's Phoenix, F as in Frank, E as in Edward, N as in Nora, I as in Ida, X as in X-ray. And they have several different models. They're pretty good illumination devices, and they're rechargeable. You slide the battery out, you pop into a Type-C charger, and bada boom, bada bing, it'll be charged very quickly. So yeah, I have one of those I carry, and another thing I do carry outside of the other thing, I carry a fixed blade knife. I've gotten really heavy into fixed blades, and I like having a fixed blade knife. It's I carry it on me. It might be a biker thing, I don't know. But I carry it on me pretty religiously. It's usually on my belt. It's about it. Just the common things people carry, your wallet. I, of course, carry wallets because, I don't want to have my credentials from work in my everyday wallet. So when I whip it out at the store, people don't know who I am. They just think I'm some biker guy, bald-headed biker guy with a curly-Q mustache, right? The epic mustache throws them off. Got a lot of things in my saddlebag, my bikes that I leave in there, but of course my stogies and my cigar lighters and lighters. Don't forget the sunglasses. 3 things men never leave out home without: the cell phone, sunglasses, and your wallet. All right, 7-3, Whiskey 8, Lima Oscar uniform. Back to you, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Lou. I realized the question when I asked it and who I was asking it of, who would have just about everything on his belt at this point of the day of his time working, let's say. So yeah, that's a pretty loaded question, but no pun intended there either. But thank you, Lou. And you got to get those basics down. Of course, the three basics there is what the glasses. That doesn't work every county and state because a lot of people don't have any sun. Thank you so much, Lou. And let's say hello to Steve again, KI6LOV. What you got for us, Steve?
Hey, Bob. It's good to be back here on the Great Outdoor Net. This is Steve, KI6LOV. Aside from all the usual things that people have mentioned already, including a folding knife, I normally would carry 2 folding knives, one more plain and unintimidating in case I need to cut a carpet sample or something for a client. And then I like to carry a more tactical, more aggressive-looking pocket knife as well because, hey, I'm just a knife guy. But the one thing that I always carry as well that I use nearly every day is it's a little tiny micro tool called a Leatherman Squirt, and I think it's a discontinued model, but it's a little folding plier with a few extra tools, and I almost always I'll be using the little scissor or the little file, and it's really good for with the little pair of pliers if you need to grab onto something and pull on it. So Anyway, that's my recommendation. Any kind of a Leatherman tool comes in super handy for EDC. So, communications and all that as well. But, yep, that little Leatherman squirt serves me well. This is KI6LOV. Back to you, Bob.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Leatherman, because that's been a everyday carry for me, and it still is. But I used to have that for work, and I think we talked about this just the other day, about how I used to, have to get up and down off the floor, which I'm sure was good exercise at the time. But if I just needed a quick little needle nose pliers, let's say, or something to cut tie wrap with, something like that, and I just whip out my little. Well, it's not little, but I've got the bigger one. I think mine's called sounds like Blast. Yeah, it's a Blast. So that's the one I have, and I think that one might be discontinued, but had it for years, love it, does everything. Thank you, Steve, as always, and thanks for all your updates on the trail. We love those too. And let's say hello to Jim down in Cerritos, KE6FVN. Good evening, Jim, and welcome.
Good evening, everyone on the net. KE6FVN, Jim in Cerritos. Well, there are two. Flashlight, KE6FVN. There are two favorite that I like to carry. One's a flashlight, the other is a Leatherman, and they're both useful in the military, and used both during the time that I was in. While I was in the Army National Guard, someone confused the heck out of me and saw me working with one of those tie strips and said, "Why don't you use the MacGyver tool?" And quickly learned it was the Leatherman tool, KE6FVN.
What's funny is that when I bought my Leatherman, I actually bought it through work. We were allowed so much for tools and tie wraps and just, gloves, all kinds of stuff, safety glasses, anything to really do with work. So I bought it through there because I knew it was going to be useful. And I used that thing really, literally every day. There was times when I just needed like a little screwdriver, or if I needed, like I said, the clip on a C-clip on one of the shafts of this machine, let's say, and you just need a little pair of needle nose, Skeeter, get your Skeeter nose, and put that down there. Oh, we've had Skeeters lately. Not a good thing. W6CJX for the Papa System, Great Outdoor Net. We can talk more about that. And thank you, Jim, as always. Let's say hello to Jeff. Turn down your volume, Jeff. Or no, wait, turn down your microphone. Anyway, get everybody ready to turn everything down. Jeff's here. We love him. KC6, K06, JCA. I get it one of these times. I was looking too far down the pages. I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead. It's all yours.
Thanks, Bob. KO6JCA. It's just a little tiny HT. I don't know what the problem is, but I'll try and do better. The second, the Leatherman, the multi-tool, I got a micro, a real small one that I carry. And a couple things that I haven't heard mentioned every day for me is always a sun hat, rain or shine. I have one with a little apron, a skirt around the back of the neck. It's really great to keep the sun off. And then something that I should be doing, I said I was going to do, and I haven't heard, but carry an HT. I keep saying I'm going to, put an HT on my body when I go out on trail, but I haven't done that. And just one more comment for Steve. I've seen these hiking bells. A lot of mountain bikers use a little bell that you can, it's like a jingle bell you can put on your hand or on your pole, and those are great for keeping the bears away. 730, back to net control, and Bob, let me know how my volume is. Back to net control, KO6JCA.
Well, take a high five. That was perfect. What did you do? Wow, what a difference. No, you sounded like Jeff, and it wasn't too loud. I mean, most people are too soft, including myself. Half the time I'm not talking into the microphone, but, you're just perfect. That was great. So thank you so much. And it must be a real sensitive mic, though. Not sure what radio it is. We'll have to look into it. Sounds like you got it dialed in. All right. Thank you so much, Jeff. Always good to hear you. Jump back in if you got anything else. Chuck, KO6, Kilo, Charlie, Yankee. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for including me here tonight. Yeah, I would say I've been
trying to think the one. You said the one thing that we can't leave the house without, and that would have to be a pocket knife. I've done everything from the Leatherman Squirt to the Micro to all kinds of things. And currently, I'm carrying a Kershaw Assisted Open, and I use it multiple times a day. And I can't tell you how many times I have donated one of these knives to the trash can standing outside TSA or the entrance to Disneyland or something like that, where I thought, oh shoot, I've got it in my pocket. But anyway, you can ask my wife. I will not leave the house without a pocket knife. K06KCY.
Now you did say wife, right? Did you say knife or wife? You can never leave the house without your wife. So, and your knife. You got to have both. Yeah, perfect. It's like I said, the Leatherman, you never know how much, I know why we're hung on those, but I have some Kershaws too. I have quite a few knives. I like to just, like they say, play with them. Go to the knife case that I have a little, I just did it on the cheap, but I got a couple Benchmades now, and so I love them, and I just always have a knife with me. And I use it several times a day too. Every time the Amazon box comes, I have to open it. W6CJX for the Papa System Great Outdoor Net. Thank you so much, Chuck. And good to hear you tonight. K06KHK Stephen. Welcome.
Hey, good evening. If I had to pick the everyday carries, cell phone, Buck 110, folding knife, and wallet Zippo, maybe. If I had to pick everyday items, I'm never leaving the house without those. K06, KHK Stephen.
Okay, I'm looking for one item in particular, and all you're going to win is the bell. It's nothing too thrilling. But there's one item that you could have with you that could go with some of the items, or at least one of the items that was mentioned. Am I getting this too confusing? If you come up with this item, then I'll ring the bell for you. Big deal, right? Well, it's better than nothing. Better than a slap in the face. That's what he said. Okay. And the net back to me. All right. Well, thank you very, very much. And Steve's got it all together there. Let's say hello to Andrew, W6ALB. Andrew, how's it going in Tucson? You coming in on Echo, or what are you coming in on?
Yeah, good evening there, Bob. W6ALB. I'm coming through right now on the E7 Samsung tablet right now, going through the Guess Account All-Star. My ID5100 Alpha screen cracked on me, so I'm in the process of sending it back over to ICOM and have it repaired, so I can't have any D-Star right now. So that's what's going on there. I apologize for not being around on your net. Good to hear you out there, buddy. I think on this topic over here, I'm just going to say I just carry my ID with me, so that way if there's a problem out there, I can be identified, and I'm good for that. Thanks for running the net there, Bob. I'm on battery power, so I'll back out. So thank you, W6ALB.
You sound fantabulous. And that's very cool that you're, that works good. Tablet, there's like this room noise maybe, but your voice and everything's perfect on that. So it's really not even an issue. Sounded very, very good. So, well, good for you on that. And, I hope you get your 5100 back before they release the 5200. They probably could just wait for that one. I don't know. That's going to be That's going to be a pricey cigar, I have a feeling. All right, Andrew, have a great rest of the night. I'm glad you're always out there, because we're out here for you. AB6MB Jeff, San Francisco, is calling me. What's about you? Welcome.
Okay, Bob, thank you. Thank you very much for doing the net. Yeah, the everyday carry. You carry a multi-purpose tool with as a knife, pliers, and so on in it. Also have a first aid kit that's mostly has different pills for Advil, cold, and sinus. That's the kind you get from behind the counter at the drugstore because it's real good stuff and it works. Reason I have that in there because we got sick at a bed and breakfast one time, and I had it, and I was the one that had to get up and go get some Advil cold to sinus. I said, for now on, I'm keeping that with me. Also, my 7-inch tablet, you can get them for like $40 from Temu. They're great to have. My phone, of course, but I really don't like the screen on the phone. It's too small. But the 7-inch tablet I carry is just perfect for reading and surfing the internet and that when you're somewhere. And flashlight is something definitely to have. And that's about all I can remember at the moment. So with that, I'll turn it back to you. Good subject, AB6MB.
Well, maybe we can do a deep dive later into, some specific stuff on another net, maybe knives. Knives was a good one. Knife sharpening, I think, was one of the longest nets we had. It was something like 2 hours, and everyone had their own way of sharpening knives and which type of knife sharpeners they use, or they just use a flat stone or a sheath. What do they call those things? Never remember the name. But I have one. It's around here somewhere. Sounds good, Jeff. Yeah, that's always the best thing to do. I've got like EDC bag that's next to the door, and basically I do take it with me everywhere I go, and it's got a lot of stuff in it. It's got like a week's worth of medications, just in case. You never know. And a lot of good stuff. But there's one thing I carry in there that could save you if I'll just say it has something to do with power. Maybe somebody will get it. All right, this is W6CJX for the Papa System Great Outdoor Net here. Sunday evenings at 8 p.m. and we are talking about EDC, everyday carry, anything that you just don't leave home without it. It used to be the American Express card. Don't leave home without it. Let's head over to Ron, KF4. PQH. How's it going? And let me get this. Is Beetlejuice? No. Virginia? Let's see. It's Amityville? No. Crickets? Oh, I can't remember. All right, I'll let you. Locustville. There we go. I got it. Locustville, Virginia. Welcome, Ron.
This is KF4 PQH. Good evening, Bob, and the rest of the net. You were close, and I think you were probably playing a little bit. It's Locust Grove. Funny you mentioned Amityville. Back in another life, I actually used to service Xerox machines in Amityville, Long Island, and I have driven by the Amityville house. You will have heard of that. So I guess one of my favorites, a lot of things that others mentioned, I discovered a flashlight a number of years ago called a Streamlight Stylus. It uses 3 quadruple A batteries. Yes, that's 4 A's, and it's about the size of a pen, and it sits in my pocket all the time. And particularly as old as I am, saves me when I'm trying to read a menu in a restaurant that hasn't got good lighting, or it helped out a lot when we were traveling in a motorhome. It puts out a pretty good light with the LED bulb that's on it. They always talk about a man can't have enough radios, knives, and guns. And now that I'm no longer in California, it's legal for me to have an EDC carry that might go bang. And I recently actually acquired something new called a SIG P365MX TAC Pro that I'm just getting ready to take to the range and try out and get used to it. But I've had some other items like that, and I won't go into too much more detail. But stay safe out there, all of you. This is KF4PQH in Locust Grove, Virginia. Be safe, 7-3.
Man, I was that close. Locust Grove. Okay, no Locustville. I like it. I'll put it down in my notes, so I'll next time. Yeah, I'm pulling your leg a little bit. I'm just having some fun. You're such a great guy. God, I wish we could get together sometime and charbroil a ribeye or something and just raise a glass of something, anything. Such a great guy. You guys are great. All right, we'll say hello to Dee, and let's move along to Hal. We got a couple here still waiting to get in. N6HAL. Chief, good evening and welcome.
November 6th, Hotel Alpha Lima. Thanks, Bob. I wasn't sure I made it through or not. I thought you were ignoring me. Not really. I don't have any special things that I take when I leave. Number one, I don't like things in my pocket, so I have my wallet, and at my age, I got to take a couple pill vials with me, so I have a wallet in one pocket, my bills in the other, and that's about it. I don't generally have to take a knife with me, but if I'm going camping, I usually do. But I have no special tools except cell phone, just like everybody's saying. And I do take something to charge that cell phone up with, as well as other battery-operated things, such as my ham radios now, so I got to take those. But that's about it. Nothing fancy here. N6, Hotel Alpha Lima, back to the net.
Well, you got the bell. Yeah, it was a phone charger. They got some that are really super small. Actually, about the size or smaller than your cell phone. And that thing will charge, I think I've charged my phone, not from a dead start, but 20-30% up to full charge like 3 times. And this thing just fits right in this little, it's like a sling backpack. You could use it in your, I have another one for my little fanny pack thing that you just, put when you don't want to, if you're wearing something that doesn't have great pockets in it. So I don't like things in my pockets either. So I'm with you on that one. All right, Hal, sounds great. Good to hear you tonight. And always a pleasure to have you on the net. Let's say hello to Tom, K6COZ. Welcome, Tom. It's getting late on you. You better get to bed. Welcome, and what you got for us?
Yep, good evening, Bob. Just finishing up watching the game here between the Patriots and the Bills. It was a classic game. I carry a backpack, the backpack, with me everywhere I go pretty much because I work in a truck all day, so I got to have everything I need with me. Lunch, water, coffee, Band-Aids, lights, little tools. They don't like knives, but I got a stinky little one. But yeah, I got everything in there, man. A towel. I got I could survive a couple of days on that backpack with me every day that I keep. You name it, it's got painkillers, whatever. It's got Advil, stuff like that. Got to have your backpack with everything you need, but I can't carry an EDC with that. I do have a couple in my car, though. K6COZ, back to you, Bob.
Yeah, I can see how you might be limited a little bit, definitely at the airport. That's almost like an interesting little poll. Maybe I'll add that on to net one night is, have you ever had something really, really special or expensive or important to you confiscated getting on the airplane? And I know that happens to a lot of people. It's just something that can't go on the airplane. And it's either like, and at that point in your journey, what you're going on, you don't have time to run back to your car and put it in. I guess you could get a locker maybe, but it's still, anyway, that's why it pays to get there really early, I guess, to have a little extra time. All right, Tom, good to hear you. And I'm looking forward to hearing you tomorrow morning on your way to work. I think you're already at work when everybody else chimes in. All right, take care. Say hello to Alma. And let's, last but not least, he always thinks he's last but not least, but he isn't. It's KN6AVH, RJ. Welcome.
Well, good evening, all. Well, of course, cell phone. It's how many times have people left the house and, oh my God, and they're too far to turn around and come back, and you go the rest of the day and you're really paranoid that something is going to happen and you're not going to be able to make a phone call or check a text or something like that. But the other thing is a hat. I had a little clarn on my head that the doctor scraped off and says, you got to start wearing a hat. So I pretty much wear a hat all the time, even indoors. When I was working, I sometimes I had to take it off. The company didn't like it. But radios, HT's Procreate. You got one radio, you go to sleep, you wake up the next morning and there's 3 radios on your desk. And it's like, well, where did those come from? So usually just to exercise the batteries, I usually carry a radio with me. Don't talk on it much, but I have it just in case something comes up. For work, I used to have a Leatherman and tools, but now that I'm not working, I don't carry those anymore. I don't need them. Two things I had thought about, but I never bothered with it. When many years ago, when I drove a truck, I thought about carrying mace with me, but I never did that. And fast forward, I thought about mace or pepper spray, but I never got it, so I don't carry those. But it's still in the back of my head, that maybe that's something I should have. But other than that, not much else. Sunglasses, of course. But that's about it. Oh, keys. Don't forget your keys. You really can't function without your keys to your house and your car and whatever else. All right, KM6AVH, back to net control.
Yeah, I can sympathize with that. You get outside, you think you have your keys, you've already locked the front door, and now you can't drive or get back in the house. It doesn't work so well. It's not good. It's not a good day when that happens, but that's true. That's why I kind of have this bag. I figured I'm investing in older age so that when I start really forgetting things terribly, I'll have this bag that sits there. It's already got my wallet in it. It's got my keys hanging on it, and all these other little EDC things that I've kind of alluded to. And so it just goes with me each day, and I don't go out the door without it. So I guess that's my thing. W6CJX for the Papa System Great Outdoor Net, and we're talking EDCs, everyday carry. What can you not live without? What can you not leave home without? And let's see if we have any other stations that would like to check in. Rechecks are welcome, or just come by and say hi. That's all. We don't have to have anything on subject at all. Please come now.
KD6 LLB, Logan.
K6
Foxtrot Golf for Whiskey. Whiskey 2 Alpha Yankee Zulu.
KO6 HRX.
KM6 MRG.
Alrighty. Well, you probably think I'm snoozing or something, but I'm actually working the whole time. I'm trying to put down anything from abbreviations that I get. If it's like that, it was very orderly. It's easy to copy them all down. And then I follow that up with like the prefix, and then I'll follow that maybe with the name if I know the name. So there's my net control secrets. I release them to the world. KD6LLB did a great job tonight, Logan, and appreciate you doing that. And it's great to hear you. Everyone just loves you on the air anyway. Go ahead. Welcome to the Great Outdoors.
Man, it takes Papa 4 a long time to drop. And it's great to hear you, Bob. This is Logan, KD6LLB on Saddle Peak. And, a quick comment about making noise to, make sure you don't encounter bears at close range while you hike. What I've done for years is carry a very loud boombox when I hike, and I rarely see bears, and I also don't make any friends. But anyway, just kidding, of course. So, and yes, I did something, referring back to something Steve said, I did learn that in, let's say, office environments, it's not good to use a scary knife to remove staples from paper, because somebody could walk in and panic and scream, and that actually happened to me. And so, yes, I appreciate the keeping the scary knives not in view, and maybe having something cute in order to get staples out or whatever you need to do. So, so I definitely carry a knife on me. I usually have a Spyderco Salt 2 or a Delica. I also have some little knives. I think they're called ladybugs, and they sound harmless, but they're really sharp. And they used to be inexpensive. Now they're expensive, so I think I bought my last. But I'm a big fan of Spyderco knives. Yeah, I also have a multi-tool. I've tried a bunch. There's one that I really like, and I can't remember what the name is, but anyway, I don't know. I found some that are very convenient. I have a backpack that basically functions like what you described. It goes with me everywhere. A lot of time it stays in the truck if I think this truck is in a safe place. But I have some pens and paper, Write in the Rain, notepads. I have a little tiny Streamlight pen light that's USB chargeable. Also a Streamlight little tiny headlamp that's very handy to have and doesn't weigh anything, so I don't mind carrying it around. I have some spare glasses, small Sharpie markers, car keys, including the mechanical backups for all the cars that I might need to use or get into. And definitely have a radio, an 878. I keep one of those in my backpack all the time. I have a second wallet with all the IDs, like Lou mentioned, that I don't necessarily want to carry around or make visible when I'm just in a restaurant or something. I also have emergency contacts on paper. It's printed in very small font, but readable in case I can't remember anybody's address. I don't even remember my parents' address. I have what I refer to as MCOM docs, which are basically all the things like net scripts and all the frequency channel plans, all that stuff, so that I have that with me. Sometimes I end up somewhere just in an odd restaurant or whatever and have to run a net. And another thing, I have not only keys for home, I have all the keys I might need if I go to a repeater site or have to get through gates or get into a storage container. I have some keys for neighbors in case I need to do something at their house, and this is very important. Years ago I started carrying all the keys that I might need for friends out of area or family members that I might have to, basically, this has happened, I had to go straight to the airport and go straight to their house, and stuff like that happens, so it's good to have the keys with you, especially if you are roaming far from home and don't want to go back before you have to leave. And yes, I have a USB charging kit with cables and adapters. I also have some of the phone chargers and even some charging gadgets that are really cool. They're by Anchor, and they will charge a MacBook at about 50 or 60 watts, I think. And they have a really good, easy-to-understand display so you know what's actually going on. So you can tell if your cable's not doing the job or whatever. So those are great. I think they're from Anchor. I don't know the actual model name. I just got them, tested them out. They seem good. And let's see. Anyway, really it comes down to the knife, iPhone, a minimal wallet, and, the other thing, a Garmin InReach Mini 2, I think is the one I have. Don't ever plan to be without one of those. My iPhone supposedly does satellite messaging, but it is not proven reliable. In fact, it is proven unreliable. And the Garmin has worked every time I've tried it. And, a couple of other things. Nail clippers with a file, they can actually be used if you have to deal with cutting things close, like things that you can't get easily with a knife. And I recently discovered that tiny tweezers with really fine points are good when you get, you're working with metal and you get little shards. You can actually get those sometimes. I used to think you had to deal with them forever. And, all right, I've rambled on. Thanks. KD6LLB, back to you, Bob, and good to hear you, and hope you're feeling better.
Well, you hit it all. I think you got everything. Those little nail files come in handy for sharpening fish hooks when you're stranded on an island somewhere trying to get something to eat. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You got all kinds of good stuff there. And, the radio, I was trying to think about what I was doing, and I have it's one of the Baofeng's, one of the newer UV32, I think. Pretty inexpensive, really robust radio. Anyway, got that stuck under the back seat. It just sits back there. It's USB-C rechargeable, so I can just plug it right in. in the truck there. And so we always have a radio with us, and I got a couple different antennas with it too. So anytime we go somewhere, so I don't take it out every time we go out. I just leave it there as a kind of emergency. And then maybe just plug the battery in maybe once a month or so. I've got extra batteries. So, all right, sounds good. Thanks for all that, Logan. It's very good. Enjoy all of your knowledge and everything you've used over the years. That's what we're here to learn something, right? So for sure. W6CJX for the Papa System Great Outdoor Net. And we're talking EDCs. Let's say hello to Ellen. K6 Delta Victor. What's going on, Ellen, tonight? I bet the temps have cooled down quite a bit.
Well, thanks for asking. It is a lovely, cool evening. I was out all afternoon and evening, cooked up a big batch of chicken and dumplings for some friends of mine. We are gathering to pay our last respects to a musician friend. Very sad, and so I'm melancholy this evening. But that being said, it's always fun to know. You've been in the back of my head knowing this net was going on, so the minute I got home, I turned on the radio, and you talk about things that are essential when you move. Well, when you ride a motorcycle, there's a long list, and Logan mentioned a few of them. And the Garmin InReach is essential. I'm a solo traveler, so I like to know that my people know I'm safe. And a few other things that I carry with me frequently is my dog. Everything you guys have been talking about tonight is relevant and right spot on. And I learned a lot by listening to the bits that I've heard so far. And so I'm just grateful that I'm still here above ground. And with that, I'll hand it back to you, Bob. And this is Kilo 6 Delta Victor. And thanks for doing the net.
Well, thank you, Ellen. And definitely the puppy dog makes a big... they're all puppy dogs. I've told you that before. I just call them all puppy dogs. It could be a... I've seen people walking and they'll say, oh, cute puppy dog. And they're like, she's 14 years old. It's like, well, still a puppy in my eyes. I guess you have to live with it. But, yeah, that's an essential item. And like Logan said, too, with the Garmin, if I did what I used to do, as far as hiking and going places where, really didn't have any cell service at all, I definitely would have the Garmin, the Mini or whatever, whichever one I need, because they do work and they're really great. And those are the ones, we had a net one night where we had a search and rescue from Riverside, I think he came in, or Orange County somewhere, and that's what he recommended. I think we were kind of doing a satellite messenger net, but it was probably 2 or 3 years ago. I think I was trying to get him to come on as a guest, but I couldn't get a hold of him. So that would have been fun. That's their recommendation. That's the ones that they find, or the ones that have the Garmin. Thank you, Ellen, and a great job on the net last night. Super. Heard it was great, and that was a good thing. And let us have some time and enjoy my birthday and everything else we were doing. Busy week. So let's say hello to Steve, WA6FGW. What's going on, Steve? What you got that you just can't bear to leave home without?
Okay, good evening to Bob and the net. Always informative and reminders of, I forgot that on my list from last time I went somewhere. But I've got a couple additions that, and everyone's got to decide for themselves, is this a necessary item, or is the hike too short or too long or whatever. But one thing I've always taken with me, or most of the time, is like an empty 55-gallon plastic bag. You can use it like for a poncho. You can sit on it like a ground cloth. Just any number of items that make multi-use of it. And we want to forget individual meds for people if they have something they have to take. A medication at noontime or whatever. You might be on the trail, a couple miles from your car, so you want to do that. Mentioned about car keys, making sure you have the keys with you. I've gotten to where I put a brightly colored piece of tape of some sort or a ribbon and tie it around it, and it's kind of easy to remember. Do I have my car key? And if so, what pocket is it in? Or stuff it inside the backpack so that I don't forget it. A couple other things. The roll-up J-pole antenna that is often described as an excellent starter antenna for new hams is nice and light and something you can throw into your day pack. It's only a few ounces, and it really does make a big difference. I've used one numerous times over the years, and just getting it up and above the eye level of everybody is a big change. Also, most of us are probably driving to where we're going to go to take a hike or something, so you might want to consider one of those jumpstart batteries that are small and whatnot. Maybe not necessarily. I wouldn't put it in or carry it with you, but at least have it in your car ready to go in case you're kind of in the boonies when you discover your car battery and the lights were left turned on. Other than that, I think that pretty much covers it. Thanks for doing the net, and hopefully we didn't forget anything. Take care. WA6FGW.
Well, Steve, what did he win? Got another bell. That was the other item that I was going to talk about, or at least mention, is the car battery starter. And we just used it recently for my son-in-law because he bought a used battery and then still had problems with the battery. We let them use that, and he had to start it a couple times till they finally got the brand new battery put in. But it works great. And it's if anybody ever wants information on it, you can email me or something, because I'm not promoting it, but I would if they wanted me to. They're definitely a good brand and don't need the top-of-the-line one. They're not too expensive, about $99. And they have really good clips that you can't cross and spark and do any weird things. So, and you can charge cell phones from it too. So it's a great little miniature brick of loveliness that will start just about any engine, no matter how dead the battery is. In fact, that is what it'll do. It'll start it even if the battery's completely dead. So perfect, Steve. Thank you for that. And let's say hello to Victor, W2YAZ. Welcome, Victor.
Hey, good evening, Bob and Annette, W2AYZ here, and I think it's a very good topic. I have an idea to nominate two at this that besides everyone I've mentioned. Maybe one is a big carabiner. I have a couple of those big size night eyes. The size 6 or something like the largest one, the carabiner S-spinner. Basically, you can hang it on the bell loop, but it's big enough also go inside. To the hand of HT by the battery clip. So it's just a good size to get the HT either hang up on your belt or hang up on a backpack strap, so that, or any hoop, or anywhere you can hang it, so that the HT can not only be handheld, it can be hanging somewhere. That the night eyes stainless steel is rust proof as well. Okay, another item I want to nominate is a battery pack. That I've been using. I got two of them. I'm not sure they're still in the market, but it's a charge. It's a charge. You just change the C to S. It's a charge. It's a brand, but it has a variable output. You can use USB-C to PD and then to power up a laptop. If it's under 100 watts, you can then use the barrel connector to output 13.8 volts for a ham radio. That is not high power. It can be charging up a QRP radio, no problem, or just to charge up a HT battery, no problem as well. So I've been using that to power my Starlink Mini as well. So that's one battery pack can do voltage go from 5 volts to 20 volts, so that you can charge different things based on your need. So I like it very much. So I got two of them that I carry with me of traveling everywhere. Camping trip as well, backpacking trip as well. Back to net, W2AYZ.
Hey, Victor. Yeah, carabiners, those are cool. I have that with just about anything on just about everything I own, because like you said, you can always attach stuff if you need to, or attach it to something with the carabiner. And actually my car keys are on the carabiner, or on a carabiner, and then that actually clips onto my other keychain deal that I have. It's not a chain, but it's, I don't know, it's orange and looks pretty cool though. I like it. But yeah, there's some stuff that you just got to have with you just in case. And these days, I don't know, that whole EDC thing might change. Might be taking bazookas with us each time we go out of the house. Hopefully not. I'll never get to that. Thank you, Victor. Always great to hear you. And let's say hello to Gary, K06HRX. Welcome, Gary.
Welcome. Right back to you, Bob. Belated birthday to you also. And moving along, yes, over 50 plus years ago, the first thing in the morning I would get up, get dressed, and I would go keys, wallet, cigarettes, lighter. And then out the door I'd go. That's how my day started, and it went like that for many, many years. Now, well, in the later part of the ordeal, or what we want to call it, I get up in the morning, I make sure my head is screwed on straight. Then I only worry about the keys, wallet, and a cell phone. And sometimes I check and make sure I have a battery that's charged up for the cell phone to take along with me, along with the USB cable. And one other thing I do take from time to time is I take my little pet cricket and put it in a matchbox and carry it along with me. Anyway, back to Net Control, K06HRX.
And does your pet cricket have a name?
Squeaky.
Gotta love it. That's so cool. Yeah, I take my crickets with me too everywhere. They just keep kind of showing up. Well, there they are now. They're just nice and soft in the background. But that sounds good. That's great, Gary. You kind of took us through few years of different, things that would change as far as EDC. But yeah, you just got to kind of, and it still happens. I don't know how many times I've get out there and I don't have my but I have a spare pair of sunglasses in the back, the rear door of the truck, and has a pocket thing, and I put them in there. So worst case, I can use those. It's not that bad, not the worst thing in the world. Thank you, Gary. Sound great tonight. Appreciate all that you contributed always, and it's good to hear you. And let's see, we got Chris, KN6 MRG. Welcome, Chris. How's it going?
Good evening, everyone. Most of the things are already covered, but I'll try to quickly go through some of this stuff. Leatherman Skeletal, that's always in my pocket every day. I carry a little thermometer, which is like a backpacking one, just a temperature gauge, and it does the high and low of the day, because I'm constantly in different climate environments between cellars and out in the vineyard or whatnot and working, so it's nice to actually get a real reading rather than something that's on the phone or a weather station that's a ways away. Then from that, usually always have a headlamp on me, because I start work before the sun comes up usually, so that stays with me. And then from there, just so I'm type 1, so I carry my glucose meter, and I have a little satchel that has all kinds of stuff like carabiners and sugary snacks in case my blood sugar goes low, and headlamps, and but thank you for the net, Bob. I'll give it back to you. KN6 MRG.
Well, it's great to have you back, Chris, for another week. And boy, that week went by fast. I tell you, it's hard to keep track with everything. It's going very fast, and we know what's coming with all the different holidays, whatever you enjoy. Some people don't enjoy any of the holidays, I suppose, but I kind of do. Starts with thanks for the Gary, thank you for the belated birthday. Yeah, that was on yesterday, actually, so that was fun. And so we've just been hanging out and enjoying being at home for a few days, so that's worked out great. Okay, Chris, well, thank you again. And let me take one more last call. We'll see if we have anyone that didn't get a chance to get in or has a recheck, and then we'll close the net. So W6CJX for the Papa System Great Outdoor Net. Please come now.
KK6LMC.
KJ6MID Santa Barbara.
KD6LLB with a recheck.
All right. We got 3 more. Looks perfect. We got Carolyn, KK6LMC. We got Jonathan, KJ6MID. And we've got Logan for recheck, KD6LLB. So let's say hello to Carolyn tonight. What's your favorite thing that you just can't leave? Let's get a woman's perspective on this whole thing. Well, we've got Ellen's, definitely. So let's get another woman's perspective on what do you carry as an EDC every day? And we'll find out. Welcome.
The most important stuff. Number 1 is gum. I chew gum every day. I know it's a bad habit. Dennis says not to chew gum, but unfortunately, it's pretty much a staple. And also, I carry either a lipstick and chapstick. I have a knife. I have a flashlight. A real important one is to carry cash. And then I have a pack of matches in my purse. That could kind of scare off somebody if anyone was to come close. And then I carry the mailbox key in case I want to pick up the mail on the way home. And another really good one is a scratch pad and pen, and keep that in my purse too. And you never know when someone's going to call you and say, "Oh, your appointment's changed," or "We have an opening here," or whoever. But just so that you have a little notepad, and make sure you have a couple pens. If you get in an accident, you're going to be needing that, and then you'll be digging through your glove box all day. So, and then I carry Tylenol just for pain, in a little bottle. And so everything's pretty much, and then the usual stuff. I have a bigger wallet with a lot of stuff in it and everything. So that's about it, I guess, besides anything else more important, like sometimes I put a note in my wallet just to say, if my wallet is found, please call my phone number. So I do include that. I'll give it back to you, Bob, and you can take the other callers there. KK6LMC73, everybody, and have a great night.
Okay. Yeah, I knew you'd have quite a few little things that you'd like to take with you. And that's good that we got you into the knife and the little flashlight. You just never know. You watch these crazy shows and people are tied up somewhere in the back of a truck. A flashlight or a knife might come in handy, as long as they don't take it from you. Let's hope that never happens. But, sounds good. Let's say hello to Jonathan, KJ6MID. Welcome, Jonathan.
Hey, good evening, Bob and the rest of the net. Good to hear you guys out there. KJ6MID. Great topic. And so I used to carry a soccer cleat key, and that was on my keychain. And I used to have that because it was an interesting shape, and it was, red in color. So it identified my keys really well. But I got rid of it because too many people were asking me, "Hey, do you play soccer?" which I never did. Then I used to carry a pager, but every time it went off, everybody was asking me if I was a drug dealer. So I got rid of that. Then I used to carry a Leatherman tool. I think when they first came out, there was a little sleeve off to the side that you could carry a mini mag light. Took 2 AAA batteries. And that was the bomb, man. I really liked that, and I used it for years and years. And then it kind of wore out, and I tried to find another one, and they just don't make them anymore, the Leatherman tool, with that little accessory of a little pouch to put a little mini mag light in there. So I got rid of that, and now I just, don't do much. Thanks, KJ6MID.
Well, you had me laughing when you said everyone thought I was a drug dealer. I thought you were going to say everyone thought I was a doctor. So we went from doctors carrying pagers and that would be the first thing you would think of is like, is that guy a doctor? He just got paged. And then so now it's like, oh, is that guy a drug dealer? Kind of looks like one. Not you. I'm just meaning it's funny. That's great. All right, doctors to drug dealers. That sounds cool. Yeah, sometimes they have put out such good stuff, and then they discontinue it. And like the Blast model that I have, I would buy again in a heartbeat. I don't need to because this one works fine. Just clean it, oil it, and sharpen it if you have a blade on it, whatever. But it's just been solid for 20 years. I think I had it almost, and used it for work every day. So I guess if you make something too good, people won't need to. Luckily, there's enough of us out there that like to have, I got to have the one in blue, got to have this one, got to have that one, like knives and things. Everyone has, well, not everyone, but the knife people have lots of knives. Thank you, Jonathan. Sound great tonight, and thanks for coming by the Great Outdoor Net, too. Appreciate that. And let's say hello to Logan for a recheck, and then we'll head on down the trail here, get back before the battery wears out that I accidentally left the inside passenger light on, and I went hiking. What do I do, Logan? What will I do?
Okay. Boy, that takes a long time to drop. KD6LLB returning, and since you know a lot of hams, let me just back up. So a quick funny story. A few times I have been around hams when somebody's battery went dead. And one case in particular, Steve, WA6FGW, who mentioned the charger in the first place tonight, was there. And the funny thing about that is I've carried a one of these little jump starter gadgets for a couple of years, 3 years maybe. And the one that I used or tried to use, I had a NOCO. I now have another one. It's a little larger, and the few times I've tried to get, somebody had a bad battery, and I tried to get mine out. Some of the hams that I was with, or all of the hams, already had theirs out and were ready. They were competing. They were practically throwing elbows to get their charger connected to the battery. And I never got a chance to test my NOCO, whatever model I had, until recently. I gave it to a teenager that some of you have met, Josh, and he went out in the world in his used car that we got him and started doing all the things that you can do to kill a battery. And that little charger that I gave him that I carried around and could never use ended up keeping him on the road time and time again. I don't know how many times he used it, but it was at least 4 or 5 before he fixed what was causing the problem, which might have been operator error, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. And if you're around hams, Bob, you will find several offers to get your battery restarted. So hang around, ham radio operators. KD6LLB, back to net.
Yeah, that's pretty cool because that's what we did with my son-in-law. I had a feeling once let's see, what was the story with that? They got, the battery was bad, and so they ended up buying a battery, we'll just say online. I don't know from who, but they bought a line. And it was a used battery, so they put that in, and it ran for like 2 weeks. But then after that, it died again. So then I thought, well, maybe it's not really the battery. Maybe it's not charging, So I checked things out like that with a multimeter, and ended up, it's charging. It's like getting 14 volts or 13.9, whatever it was, measuring while it was running. And so they ended up taking it to a family shop here people that we go to for auto repair, and they checked it all out and said, just there was a loose wire. Well, I don't know. It wasn't that because it died again. So I gave them they still had the charger and still used it again. So finally the next day they were able to go to a regular auto parts store, and I said, they'll put it in for you. If if you go to the right place, they'll actually come out and put it in for you if you buy it from them. So there you go. With that, yeah, definitely a lifesaver there to have one of those chargers. W6CJX for the Papa System, great outdoor net. I want to thank everyone out there for checking in tonight. Had a great group. I think we hit the subject there pretty well, and I think everyone agrees that don't leave home with a lot of things. And of course, like I said, things change. Maybe we might need to take something bigger and better, but hopefully we won't.
Small addition.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, when you're looking for those on the web, for example, Google supercapacitor jump starter or something like that, and see what you think about. There's a new version out there that does not have a battery. It uses a supercapacitor, and it gleans whatever voltage is still left in your battery, and multiplies or divides it or whatever it needs to do to come up with 14.4 volts at 800 amps.
Wow. Man, when you said supercapacitor, that got my electronic technician tingling sensors. I got to look that up just to look it up. I don't know that I'll get one because I probably don't need it, but that sounds interesting that it actually uses whatever's left in the battery along with whatever it has. I have no idea. So that sounds like, okay, everybody's got homework. Let's check this one out. Well, thank you, Steve. No, always. It's great. I love having a good interest and good participation. And I want to thank, of course, the Papa System for letting us have the outdoor net and all the nets that we have each week, every night of the week, and been fun. I want to thank Evo for last week. On Wednesday, I was not capable of doing the multi-mode net, and I know a lot of you do participate in it, but I did listen. I didn't participate either, but I just listened. And that was the day of my procedure, so appreciate to Evo. I think he actually had fun, so we may be able to get to do him one other time sometime, but he did it. He made it through. He needs a certificate or something, I think. So thanks, Cecil, and all the tech team. Go to the top of the mountains, keep everything running for us. Of course, all the net controllers do the nets every night. Great net controllers. I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just mean all the other net controllers do such a great job. And I think it's wonderful. And all of you for checking in and keeping the net alive. So don't forget, if you want to, or you want to go back and hear the recorded version, which is, get your friends and family and say, hey, I was on this net. You can listen to it. It's on YouTube. But you can either go to the Papa System webpage, go to their YouTube drop down, or just go to YouTube and put in, I guess it's W6CJX Bob, and it should pop up. And then everybody else, and send it to your friends and family. W6CJX closing the net at 21:27 and saying 7-3 to everybody, and have a great week ahead. We start our week here on Sunday evening, so tomorrow's really not Monday. Mighty night.